New packaged images of the Rise of the Snake Men Wave 1 plus official images of Snake Armor Skeletor were revealed today, so let's take a look at the figures that will be dropping in the new year. And before we dive into the news, be sure to give it a like and subscribe to the channel so you can be alerted to the latest news, reviews, and episodes when they drop. Hey everyone, welcome back to Toy Habits News. I'm Michael, and with me is my collector in crime, Larry. And thanks again to Yotango El Poder. We now have official images of the Rise of the Snake Men Wave 1 that were appearing on GameStop.
Yep. Once again, they've it's almost like Mattel does like a lottery with these things and does like they pull out a ball and they're like, okay, GameStop gets the first images, go
Right.
ahead and send them out, and it's just funny where all this stuff just randomly shows up. You never know where to where to look, but here they are.
Yeah,
Cool,
yeah. It's like seriously, like I think the ground ripper and Mechanic showed up on those images showed up on Amazon. So maybe those,
Yep.
they got the official lottery win there.
And you know what's funny is that the original Snake Man the Snake Man line in 2000X anyways, that one showed up at Aldi's.
Oh,
And so it's funny, like kind of thinking back to kind of some of the history of MOTU a little bit. There's been those odd things before where stuff would just randomly show up, and Aldi's of all places. I remember at the
yeah,
time those were, they were in their flyer and everything, and it was like, what is this,
that's cool.
But it is kind of funny now that, just randomly stuff just pops up like, oh, here's the first real look we've seen of these. So
Yeah, and yeah, this wave looks really cool, and what they're doing is they're integrating Boltman into the storyline of the Snake Men wave. But he does come with that Rulers of the Sun, Sunman sticker on the front, which is kind of weird and if they're
it
integrating him
is.
to the Rise of the Snake Man, it would be great to have that Snake Man logo instead of the Rulers of the Sun logo.
Yeah, it's a weird mix now. If you're gonna go with the Snake Men like themed card backs, then yeah, I mean, to me, you almost ought to have Rulers of the Sun themed card back
Yeah.
to put those guys on, because now you've changed it up, and it does feel a little weird now to have that snake themed card back with the different logo stickers. Like
Yeah.
it just seems a little weird, like a mix wise, but.
Yeah, and these were revealed at SDCC 22, and these are going to supposedly hit January of
Did
2023.
you notice
So,
that they've got two of the U.S. release, like Snake Armor, He-Man, and Boltman are both the U.S.
oh,
cards, and
interesting.
Cybertron and Ratlore are the international version. Isn't
Yeah,
that weird?
that is kind of weird. Yeah, it's weird because GameStop, or sorry, Big Bad Toy Store actually got all of the international
Yep.
carded versions, and those don't come with any language on the mini comics. So yes, I do think it's a little weird. It's a little strange.
Yeah, and it's disappointing too as a collector because like I'm kind of down to ordering just one set, and I really want the comics. I enjoy reading those with the kids, and it's like kind of sucks to not have any of the dialogue.
Yeah.
Um, so then you're left trying to find another source to get an actual US release so you can get the actual full blown mini comic. But
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely.
just
Yeah.
an odd thing that they have these both versions. Maybe just to give an example of how they're gonna look.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I ordered mine from Big Bad Toy Store, and I'm gonna open mine. So I'm like, I don't really care what the outside packaging looks like, but I know that a lot of people care. You do want that packaging to match up, and of course, you
Yeah.
also want the dialogue in the mini comic.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think on the side of the international fans, it does suck to not have the dialogue. But I kind of feel for Mattel on that one because it's like you can only print it in so many ways, and I think trying to do like all the different languages would be logistically pretty tough. So
Yeah, it's kind of like the way Hasbro is handling the file cards for the GI Joe figures. It's
yeah,
like, yeah, they kind of lose their magic when you have them translated into 5 different languages, and you can't really fit anything on the card except for that.
yeah, yeah. That's a lot of tough choices there, but yeah, I guess we'll see how these things work out.
Yes, and moving on to Snake Armor Skeletor, he was also revealed in the SDCC 22 booth as part of the New Eternia playset Dio, but we now have official images of him. And Larry, you reminded me of this 2-pack that came out for the 2000X line.
Yeah, it's cool to see the Origins version of this character. Because to me he was a cool figure in 2000X, and I remember when this came out, this 2-pack with Snake Armor Skeletor and Wolf Armor He-Man just showed up out of the blue. I remember I hadn't seen anything about it. That was back, way back in the day of like I'd be checking like He-Man.org
Uh-huh.
forums for new things people had found or whatever, and there wasn't any mention of this anywhere at the time. I remember walking into Walmart, finding this on the shelf, and just being like, "What is this thing?"
Yeah,
And I remember I grabbed one, and it's cool. I actually think that the Origins version of this figure, I think it looks a little bit better even
yeah.
than the 2000X version did somehow.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of that silver snake, kind of how far it came up on Skeletor's helmet in
Yeah.
the 2000X version, back in the early 2000s. But I love the way that it's kind of more form fitting on the Origins figure.
Yeah, it looks cool. I think it all, I don't know, it all kind of fits better. It looks a little more like slim, kind of streamlined somehow.
Yeah,
I think it looks great.
yeah, and yeah, it definitely looks like this helmet is gonna be popping off, of his head. So it kind of looks like they're kind of reusing that 2000X buck, maybe
Mhm.
with some paint app changes to Skeletor's head.
The head sculpt looks cool, and I think it's cool that they did the shield to kind of give that effect that it had from 2000X. Because
Hmm.
in that one, I don't know if you pushed a button or if you twisted something and the spikes popped out the sides. So I think it's cool that they've kind of worked that spiked look back into the shield here, and including that in here is great. So
Yeah, he also comes with a very different sword. It looks like it's a power sword, but just cast in green, and
yeah.
it kind of goes along with the eyes of the snake armor, and love the texturing on the snake armor actually.
Yeah, it looks cool. It's got that kind of scaly look to it. The orange color looks cool against the, kind of Skeletor blue. So yeah, really happy with how this came out.
Yeah, be interesting to see what he looks like without the armor, and if they're actually truly going to be reusing all of the 2000X Skeletor.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, why not, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. It's hard to tell because, of course, these are just images,
Yeah.
but it looks like his skin tone is slightly lighter,
Uh-huh.
but it is hard to tell from pictures like this, but
Yeah, definitely is. Yeah, the snake armor is actually it's really really cool. This the kind of the way the fangs come down, and I guess they're the way that they're integrated into the straps too is a different way to have the armor done. It's really neat.
yeah, it's cool. I like that they did this one. And I think it'll be interesting to see how they work Wolf Armor He-Man in down the road because to me, you've got this Snake Armor Skeletor as kind of the counterpart to
Hmm.
Snake Armor He-Man, but now you got to figure out who matches up with Wolf Armor He-Man down the road. You can't. I don't know if we've been sitting here trying to talk about this, trying to figure out who would what Skeletor version is going to match up with him.
Yeah, maybe it's that wacky samurai version that they made, but they also made I think a samurai version of
They
He-Man.
did.
So I'm not really sure
And
what they could
Samurai
do.
Man at Arms at the time.
That's
So I
true.
mean, they did a whole three. Like I think it was were there just the three of them?
I don't. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, but yeah. So I mean, maybe you get a new Skeletor variant, like a Wolf Armor Skeletor
Ooh,
variant or a Fox Skeletor. So I don't know.
that'd be neat.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let us know what you think of the images for the Rise of the Snake Men Wave 1. Are you looking forward to them and Snake Armor Skeletor in the comments below? I'm Michael,
And I'm Larry.
and thanks for tuning into this Toy Habits News Brief.